Something long overdue has just come to Rails, and that is Hotwire Spark. If you've ever wondered how Ruby on Rails has not had an official hot reloading solution, well, this one's for you. It's super easy to add to your applications, and it's basically a free win. Now, reloading the browser on code changes is a problem that has been solved for a while, but it's often not the best solution, as it can sort of feel like you just reloaded the page yourself, and it adds a little bit of friction. If you've used other web frameworks, like those built on top of Vite, you may have experienced the luxury of hot reloading feeling absolutely seamless. This brings that experience to Ruby on Rails. So what I have here is a Ruby on Rails application. This is actually following the Ruby on Rails starter guide from their website, so the recommended way to set things up. Now this is before I've added in Hotwire Spark, so we don't have any hot reloading. So if I change this title to something that you should definitely do, you can see it doesn't change over here, and I have to come over here and refresh the page manually. The same thing goes if I change any CSS. Say I wanted to change my danger color to something like green, and then save that. You can see there's nothing updating on this right side here. Again, having to go over here and refresh it. And the final experience that happens on as well is if I change something like a stimulus controller. You can see if I change some of this text here for where it said copied, I could just change it to copied without the exclamation mark here, hit save, and then over here again, you can see if I click this, it still has that exclamation mark. I have to refresh the page and click it again. And it's just overall, it just adds a bit of friction to the experience, especially when you're making changes in CSS and you're going down to the fine details. So let's install Hotwire Spark and see the difference. Installing it is super easy. It would literally take you about 5 seconds to set up if you're a master with your Vim keybinds. All you need to do is head to your project's gem file, scroll down until you have the development group, and then inside of here, we're going to install the gem of Hotwire-Spark like so. If I now save this, we'll go ahead and install the dependencies. So I'll run the bundle command here. And then finally, I'll spin up the server again and just refresh this page so that it does have Hotwire Spark loaded. And you actually see in the terminal here, we get this message, Hotwire Spark channel is transmitting the subscription confirmation. So let's go ahead and undo the changes that I made to this page and see if it hot reloads. So we'll start off in the HTML. If I go ahead and change this back to products and hit save, you can see it immediately updates there on the right-hand side. And if I scroll down, when I'm making the next few changes, you'll see that it's not even going to rechange any of the state, like the scroll state or the state that I have on the page as well, which is super nice and just reduces some of that friction. So if I change the CSS back, so the delete button is red now, you can see that's going to immediately update over there as well. And then finally, just to show you that it works in stimulus controllers, I'll add back my exclamation mark, hit save, and when I click copy over here, I haven't refreshed the page, the exclamation mark is now in my copy button. Those three changes that you saw are basic examples of what it currently supports. It supports HTML content, CSS, and stimulus controllers. It even supports all of those though on import maps and JavaScript bundling, which is super awesome to see, with slight variations on the behavior of how it works. If you want to know a little bit more, they have an awesome blog post on it. But to summarize, with import maps, for HTML content, it actually morphs the body of the page into the new body, and it disconnects and reconnects any stimulus controllers on that page. Then for CSS, it just reloads the change style sheet, and then for stimulus controllers, it fetches the change controller, replaces it in the module in stimulus, and then reconnects all of the controllers. If you're using JavaScript bundling though, on a HTML change, it's going to go ahead and reload the page with a turbo visit. A CSS change, it's going to fetch and reload the style sheet that changed, and a stimulus controller change, it reloads the page again with a turbo visit. So that's Hotwire Spark. I'm really happy to see this. Hot reloading has honestly become a must-have for me. It just reduces the friction a lot when you're trying to fine-tune things like your CSS or the contents of a page. It seems like it's a small time saver, but all of those changes add up fast, and it's going to save you a lot of time in the future, and it just feels a lot nicer. It feels like a way better developer experience. Let me know if it actually surprised you that it's taken this long to add something like this to Ruby on Rails, or if you've already been getting this experience through third-party tools and community-built ones like Hotwire Live Reload, or Vite Ruby's Full Reload, and there's a load more as well. So let me know your examples in the comments. As always, see you in the next one.